Namaskar, Radhe Krishna, good evening. Having concluded the Udyog Parva of the Mahabharata last Sunday, in our ongoing exploration of sanatana dharma, we now transition to the sixth Parva, that is the Bhishma Parva. Named after Bhishma, this segment chronicles the events of the initial 10 days of the 18-day Kurukshetra war between the armies of Pandavas and the Kauravas. Bhishma Parva comprises 4 Upaparvas and spans nearly 124 chapters, including the revered Bhagavad Gita. As both the Pandava and Kaurava armies stand on the brink of battle, let's delve into the rules of warfare observed in Mahabharata's Kurukshetra conflict, known as dharma yuddha or righteous war, deeply intertwined with the ethical and moral precepts of sanatana dharma. These regulations were not merely practical guidelines for conducting warfare, but embodied a profound understanding of morality, duty, and cosmic order. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, warriors were expected to acknowledge and venerate the skills and valor of their adversaries, regardless of personal animosity. This mutual respect stemmed from recognizing each warrior's individual prowess and honor inherent in their role in the conflict. Central to the Dharma Yuddha was safeguarding civilians and non-combatants, women, children, the elderly, and unarmed individuals. They were deemed off limit for attack. The focus was on minimizing harm to those not actively involved in the conflict, thus reducing the impact of war on innocent lives. And the Kurukshetra war witnessed the establishment of various agreements and codes of conduct between the warring factions. And these agreements, whether concerning battle timings, temporary ceasefires, or exchange of prisoners, were binding and required compliance from both sides. Violating such agreements was considered a breach of trust and dharma. Warriors were expected to engage in battle with honor and integrity. Tactics such as ambushing unarmed or unsuspecting opponents, employing poisoned weaponry, or targeting individuals during religious rites or retreats were strictly prohibited. Such actions were seen as contrary to fair play and moral conduct. Captured warriors were to be treated with dignity and compassion. They were not to be subjected to torture, humiliation, or other forms of mistreatment. This humane treatment extended even to adversaries who had fought fiercely but surrendered in acknowledgement of defeat. And warriors who surrendered during battle or signaled the readiness to withdraw from combat were to be spared. Attacking or harming those who had surrendered was viewed as dishonorable and opposed to the principles of dharma. After the battle, it was customary for both sides to perform the final rites and rituals for their fallen comrades. This act of honoring the deceased, irrespective of their allegiance, symbolized respect for their sacrifice and acknowledged the impermanence of life within the cycle of dharma. These rules of engagement in the Mahabharata illustrate a nuanced approach to warfare that transcends mere strategy and tactics. They reflect a profound commitment to ethical conduct, compassion, and the pursuit of justice, even amid conflict. By upholding these principles, warriors sought not only victory on the battlefield, but also spiritual merit and alignment with the cosmic order as defined by dharma. And the rules of warfare in the Mahabharata, particularly those observed during the Kurukshetra battle, convey several timeless messages to the modern generation regarding ethics, conduct, and impact of warfare. The emphasis on ethical conduct in warfare teaches the modern generation the importance of upholding moral principles even uh, in the midst of conflict, and it underscores that the ends do not justify the means and that ethical behavior, respect for opponents, and protection of non combatants are paramount. The rules highlight humanitarian values such as compassion, dignity, and respect for human life. This is particularly relevant in modern warfare, where the civilian casualties and impact on non combatants are significant concerns. Upholding these values helps mitigate the humanitarian toll of armed conflict. The adherence to agreements and the respect for surrender in the Mahabharata emphasize the importance of trust and integrity in both warfare and diplomacy. Modern conflicts often involve complex negotiations and agreements, and honoring commitments can facilitate peace building and conflict resolution efforts. The rules provide a historical precedent for legal and moral frameworks in warfare. They suggest that even in the chaos of battle, there are established norms and codes that guide conduct. Understanding and respecting these frameworks can enhance international laws of war and contribute to a more just and humane approach to conflict. The rituals and practices surrounding the treatment of prisoners and the burial of the dead highlight the spiritual and psychological dimensions of warfare. They remind the modern generation of the importance of acknowledging the human cost of war and honoring the memory of those affected, fostering healing and reconciliation. The overarching principle of dharma in Mahabharata's warfare rules encourages individuals and nations to reflect on their actions in light of broader moral and spiritual principles. It prompts a deeper consideration of the ethical implications of military decisions and the pursuit of justice in global context. In essence, the Mahabharata rules of warfare offer a profound perspective on the ethical complexities of conflict and provide enduring lessons that resonate with contemporary challenges in warfare and diplomacy. They encourage a balanced approach that prioritizes ethical conduct, human dignity, and the pursuit of peace amid the turbulence of war. And now we will look into the poignant dilemma faced by King Dhritarashtra as he received real-time updates of the epic battles through his charioteer Sanjaya. Despite his blindness, Dhritarashtra insisted on being present at the battlefield during the Kurukshetra war to receive first-hand updates from his charioteer Sanjaya. Positioned in a pavilion, he relied on Sanjaya's divine sight, known as Divya Drishti, to vividly narrate the unfolding events and grasp the war's progress and implications. Throughout this time, Dhritarashtra grappled with the profound concepts of dharma and karma, confronting challenging questions regarding duty, justice, and the repercussions of past actions. His presence serves as a narrative tool that delves into uh, human conflict, power dynamics, and moral responsibilities, illustrating the intricate layers of leadership and familial loyalty within the timeless narrative of ethical struggles in Mahabharata. And following the assembly of his sons and Pandavas for battle at Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra turned to Sanjaya for a detailed account. Sanjaya recounted how Duryodhana, upon observing the formation of the Pandava army, lauded his own warriors and highlighted their readiness and prowess. The reverberating sound of Bhishma's conch shell signaled the commencement of the battle preparations. Arjuna, seized by anguish at the prospect of battling his own kin, implored Krishna to position the chariot for a clearer view of the combatants. As he beheld his relatives and friends standing ready for war, Arjuna was torn by compassion and besieged by moral turmoil. He vehemently voiced his reluctance to join the conflict, mourning the unavoidable sin and societal collapse that would follow the destruction of familial bonds, and convinced that facing death unarmed was preferable to fighting his kinsmen. Arjuna cast aside his bow and arrows, consumed by sorrow, and and this pivotal moment sets the stage for Lord Krishna's timeless message to humanity, the sacred Bhagavad Gita. In the coming week, we will explore the profound significance of the Bhagavad Gita, delving into its contents as well as the context. Have a wonderful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.